Namaste and welcome, beloved mighty companions.
Namaste y bienvenidos, amados poderosos compañeros.
Oh, you start to see these assignments from Jesus as just a celebration of joy.
Y nos comenzamos a dar cuenta que estas asignaciones de Jesús son la celebración del gozo.
And how consciousness is the denial of the miracle impulse.
Y cómo la conciencia es la negación de los impulsos milagrosos.
It's the expression of love.
Es la expresión del amor.
It's the celebration of all the love that you are, is that impulse.
Esos impulsos son la celebración de todo lo que somos.
And that's happiness.
Y eso es felicidad.
See, nothing's more that the first thing that ego wants to do is going to be to divert that impulse into a no to God.
Y lo que va a hacer el ego es querer desviar esos impulsos para decirle no a Dios.
We call it going sideways.
Y nosotros los llamamos irnos por las laterales.
It's just all these diversionary tactics that we have to learn so that we don't indulge in those anymore.
Entonces tenemos que mirar todas estas tácticas de desviarnos para no admitirlas más.
And the way that happens is guidance is acceptance of miracle impulses.
Y la guía es la aceptación de estos impulsos milagrosos.
Because they're pointing up to heaven. They're the celebration.
Porque nos están apuntando hacia arriba, hacia la celebración.
So love is in holy communion with itself. It's just continual celebration. That's all it knows.
Y eso es lo que sabe, lo único que sabe, es el amor es una continua celebración de sí mismo. Eso es lo único que sabe.
Happiness, that's all it's known. That's it.
Y simplemente felicidad y tan.
Joy, it's the only reality.
El gozo es la única realidad.
Jesus on the cross, joy.
Jesús en la cruz, gozo.
And that, you know, who talks about that? That joy is Jesus on the cross going, teaching love, because that's the only reality he recognized.
¿Y quién va a hablar de esto? De que Jesús estaba en la cruz en completo gozo. Porque esa es la única realidad, el gozo.
So as you heard me say many times, I asked Jesus many times, Jesus, where is that? Where is
y ustedes han escuchado que yo le he preguntado muchas veces a Jesús, ¿dónde está eso? ¿Dónde está la felicidad?
Because this spiritual journey, it's not feeling too much like happiness to me, Jesus. These assignments aren't feeling too happy.
Porque este camino no me está sonando tan feliz, Jesús. Estas asignaciones no me están sonando con tanto a felicidad.
The assignment's to keep you straight up and show you the quickest way where you're trying to take the highway to hell off of the spirit miracle impulse.
Y entonces lo que está haciendo Jesús es tratar de mostrarnos dónde estamos tomando la vía rápida para desviarnos de los impulsos milagrosos.
All these diversionary plays. I got something better to do than celebrate love.
Todas estas desviaciones, mira, tengo cosas que hacer, cualquier cosa que nos distraiga.
So love is unknown in the dream. It just can't, in dreaming, it cannot be known. The dream is made to go like that.
Pero el amor no puede ser conocido en el sueño porque justamente eso es lo que es el sueño. La negación del amor.
The whole point of it is to deny the miracle impulse. That's its function.
Toda la función
Consciousness.
de la conciencia es negar el impulso milagroso.
Okay, to have another, something else to be aware of so it can have the experience of being separate from God.
Una experiencia de un otro, de una conciencia de un otro y así sentirme separado de Dios.
So as Jesus has been like talking me up, asking him questions about these miracle impulses.
Bueno, yo estaba hablando con Jesús y me ha estado hablando de estos impulsos milagrosos.
So, even better than talking to him is experiencing it for yourself.
Y puedo hablar de mis experiencias con eso.
Okay, and it takes a lot. The reason it's not seen in the dream is, first of all, there's the illusion that happiness is getting something.
Porque en la ilusión parece que la felicidad se logra a través de lograr algo.
Happiness is doing something.
La felicidad es hacer algo.
If this happens, then happiness. If then.
Si esto pasa, entonces voy a ser feliz.
It's conditional.
Es condicional.
When the outpicturing of the world meets my conditions.
Cuando el mundo me muestra
my conditions, when the way I see the world meets my conditions, there's happiness right there.
Entonces, cuando el mundo me muestra las condiciones que yo quiero, voy a ser feliz.
But the whole thing in the subconscious mind is to make it not meet the conditions, so you get to suffer.
Y entonces, pero en la mente subconsciente está no lograr estas condiciones para poder sufrir.
That doesn't feel so funny in this.
Esto se siente muy divertido.
But when you freed your miracle drive, you cease to deny the miracle drive, there's just laughter, because you're just going to laugh.
Pero entonces te vas a reír cuando veas que
you're just going to laugh when when the miracle drive is freed, you know.
Entonces vas a reírte cuando los milagros se puedan lograr.
Just continual, I'm going to get my miracle first, whatever twitch comes up. I'm getting my miracle, I'm getting my miracle.
Entonces voy a obtener mi milagro, independiente de lo que aparezca.
That quick, because the miracle's instantaneous. As soon as the mind decides, oh, hell isn't valuable.
Y porque los milagros son instantáneos, a menos de que creas que hay valor en el infierno.
You know, and he talks about in the text, you know, it's an interlocking chain. It's interlocking.
Y en el text hablan de esto, del what?
Interlocking chain. It's an interlocking.
En la cadena que nos
miracles come together, like makes a web. It's like a web, and it's like that. The more miracles you accept that, you're seeing the strength, that web of strength that God has made you with.
Y entonces en esa es como una ola que Dios te ha dado, porque Dios te ha dado esa fuerza para lograr esos milagros. Es una ola. Está hablando de la cadena de milagros.
So,
¿la cadena de milagros? Okay.
So it takes, Jesus says miracles are natural, but it takes a lot of purification first.
Y Jesús dice los milagros son naturales, pero requiere una purificación primero.
Because the play of consciousness is to live inside the unnatural state.
Porque la conciencia es estar en un estado no natural.
And it's comparative. See, it'll go, I was happy there and I'm more happy than I was here.
Entonces es muy comparativa. Yo estaba más feliz aquí en este punto que en este punto.
See, this, it will describe a picture, out picture, and go, this picture does not make me happy. This thing does not make me happy.
Esta imagen no me hizo feliz. Esta otra imagen no me hizo feliz.
That's the clue that the ego's at work, defining, creating little definitions just so happiness won't be experienced.
Porque esa es la clave para ver el ego, que son pequeñas definiciones de lo que es felicidad.
Okay. It's not about being happy, it's being true to yourself.
No es acerca de ser feliz, es acerca de cómo engañarte a ti mismo.
Until the dawns, while the experience is, it's not a conditional state, it's a permanent state.
Hasta que no es un estado.
It's not a conditional state. Happiness is not conditional.
La felicidad no es condicional.
Happiness is your identity.
La felicidad es tu identidad.
So I just realized that we're working on that Spanish edition of the text of Jesus, a New Covenant.
Y me doy cuenta que estábamos trabajando en Jesús, un nuevo convenio, en la edición de español.
And it's exactly what that book is for. You read a line and you just refer back to Jesus.
Y entonces la idea es que lees una línea y te vas a donde Jesús para la interpretación.
So explain to me this, Jesus.
Explícame esto, Jesús.
Or Jesus, is this the correct way? You're telling me that this is, I'm to fill out this, write this sentence, put a period in it.
Y entonces pones un punto y dices, ok, Jesús, esto es lo que tú quieres que yo vea e interprete aquí.
But it is an exercise in hearing that voice.
Entonces es un ejercicio en escuchar esa voz
and following it.
y seguirla.
Because that book would just about drive anyone who's an editor. There'll be plenty of twitches to clear.
Porque si alguien va a jugar el papel de editor, va a tener muchos molestias.
You know, because I looked at some of those paragraphs. Jesus, that paragraph is so, you know, that sentence is so long. Do I change it? And it'd go, no.
Y yo le decía a Jesús, mira, ese parágrafo está muy largo. ¿Quieres que lo cambie? Y él decía, no.
So first of all, it's for that dialogue.
Y primero es para tener este diálogo.
Okay. And at first, the dialogue is mostly avoidance, and I'll give you a crack that you can talk to me.
Y el diálogo primero es para tratar de evadirlo.
And that's why it takes a lot of purification before you're even willing to accept the miracle.
Y por eso incluso es necesaria tanta purificación solo para aceptar el milagro.
And you can see that in the light circles. You know, miracles are instantaneous, but you can see like how much he has to show you about that secondary gain, not wanting a miracle that you don't really want.
Y mira cómo nos muestra, por ejemplo, en los círculos de luz, el juego secundario para no obtener el milagro.
Jesus, ask him. Oh, we're all Jesuses here. Ask him, Jesus.
Todos somos aquí, Jesús. Preguntémosle.
Okay, Jesus, do I still believe miracles? Do I have any belief in my subconscious mind that accepting a miracle is going to take me to hell?
¿Hay algún deseo en la mente subconsciente de creer que aceptar un milagro me lleva al infierno?
This is where real honesty of God is necessary.
Aquí es donde la verdadera honestidad de Dios es necesaria.
Because once it's seen that the miracle is to love, you're not going to accept anything other than that.
Y cuando te des cuenta que el milagro te lleva al amor, entonces no vas a aceptar nada más que no sea eso.
Miracle mindedness is refusing to accept anything other than a miracle, which is love.
La mente milagrosa es rehusarse a aceptar cualquier otra cosa que no sea
It's like,
amor.
show me, like the twitch, show me, you know, you're like a rocket.
Y entonces, si tienes una molestia, dices, muéstrame, y te vas a ir como un cohete.
And if the miracle's not immediately accepted, then there's an idea that it has value to have something other than a miracle.
Y entonces, si no tienes el milagro inmediatamente, es porque tienes una idea de que quieres algo más que no sea el milagro.
So it's the whole purpose of is to, you know, shut that miracle machine in perception. You can't shut the miracle machine down, thankfully. There's nothing we can do to shut that machine down.
Entonces, no podemos cerrar la fábrica de milagros.
Miracles are going, they're just going and flowing.
Los milagros no van y como no se van.
So am I going to keep taking the highway to hell off to the side and trying to convince Jesus you can get to heaven that way?
Voy a tratar de seguir desviándome por la vía rápida del infierno o...
You know, I can get, no problem, Jesus, I got stuff to do in my life. So, you know, check in with me later.
Mira, no, Jesús, no tengo ningún problema en mi vida. Miremos eso después.
I can only laugh at this because all these things I said. You know?
No puedo sino reír porque todas estas cosas las decimos.
I tried all those on Jesus to see if I could convince him.
Yo he tratado todas esas para tratar de convencer a Jesús.
There's just ultimately no convincing Jesus. He knows what's happening.
Pero en últimas no convenzo a Jesús porque él sabe qué es la felicidad.
So go ahead and ask him, Jesus, am I trying to convince you that I'm dead?
Jesús, estoy tratando de convencerte de que soy la muerte.
That's all we're doing. The argument, not accepting miracles, is trying to convince Jesus that you're dead. And
y no aceptar los milagros es tratar de convencer a Jesús que estamos muertos.
So anyway, so just looking at the terms in the book, it's like, wow.
Solo mira los términos en el libro.
And, I can see, I'm typing and that seems about right. Is that right, Jesus? You're typing along.
Entonces, parecía que yo estaba copiando.
But it's like those words that he gives, and then you actually grok what he says, like it takes you right to like, oh.
Y esas palabras simplemente te llevaban más allá del conocimiento.
It's like, Jesus, that's an immediate miracle. Just
eso era un milagro inmediato.
Acceptance. Don't waste any time. But until the mind's really purified.
Pero hasta que la mente no se purifique.
It's looking at the words. I'm trying to figure out, is that what it means? Is that what he means by that?
Y entonces que estás mirando el mundo y estás diciendo, ay, esto era lo que querías decirme, esto era lo que significaba.
But you grok it. It's a rocket.
Es
grok. So grok is, stranger in a strange land, GROK, grok. Love it. Love that word. Jesus likes it.
Sí, como un cohete. Te lleva como un cohete.
Okay. There's no word in the English language that matches that for really like totally getting it.
Y no hay una palabra que describa que se describa en inglés.
So this
porque eso te lleva más allá del conocimiento.
So this kind of grok takes you beyond the world.
Esto te lleva más allá del mundo.
Okay, so you can kind of get a little, and we let a squeak of the light in.
Pero nosotros queremos mantenerlos pedacitos.
But you just stay with them, and he explains, and you keep, accepting miracles.
Pero él te está contigo, te explica y te muestra la aceptación de los milagros.
And following to wash out all the no's.
Y lo sigues para limpiar todos los nos.
And just like the lessons are higher order thoughts.
Y esos son las lecciones, son pensamientos de un nivel celestial.
And so they're like little rocket ships right into recognition of divinity. I don't know how it works. It just does.
Y esos son cohetes que te llevan al cielo.
So then you can have a conversation. I'm asking let's see.
Y estoy preguntándole si puedo decir eso.
You start seeing, a miracle impulse. It's like you never turn one down. You just see what it is. It's like, wow.
Y entonces comienzas a tener estos impulsos milagrosos y verlos como lo que son y simplemente no quieres volver a desviar.
And then you see that all these words from A Course in Miracles live within you. It's life itself celebrating.
Y entonces te das cuenta que todos estos términos del curso de milagros viven en ti y son una celebración.
And then just, wow, just reading about ideas, how consciousness is the... Ask him I can talk about this. It's just a celebration of how consciousness unifies, and then it ultimately drops consciousness. That's probably not.
Entonces, está preguntando si podía decir esto. Y esto nos lleva a esto arrastra, borra la conciencia.
He's talking about Jesus on the cross. I mean, that's just unity with absolute reality talking there.
Entonces, estamos hablando de Jesús en la cruz y era la total unicidad ahí.
It's not an action, it's an expression of what is. This is it. It's beyond I and the Father are one, actually.
Incluso es más allá de una acción, es más allá incluso de Padre y yo somos uno.
Unified consciousness can recognize that I am, because it's one, it's no longer playing so much in the fragmentation.
Porque en la conciencia unificada no se juega más a la fragmentación, simplemente hay uno.
Jesus, after the desert and he started his ministry, was unified consciousness.
Y entonces Jesús, antes de ir al desierto, y tenía ya, y comenzar su ministerio, tenía ya la mente unificada.
But he was honing in on, absolute reality is his only function.
Y simplemente él era la absoluta realidad, esa era su función.
So what I realize, is that the untrained mind is so terrified of God. It's just so terrified of God.
Pero la mente no entrenada es se aterroriza mucho de Dios.
That he can't even handle seeing what a miracle impulse is. It would think it would be destroyed instantly.
Pero ni siquiera sabe qué son los impulsos milagrosos y cree que eso lo va a destruir.
So he's got to take us, and we got to trust him with one miracle at a time. Here's the one that I'm going to look at, one miracle at a time, to release that miracle drive in his pace.
Y entonces le pedimos que nos lleve un milagro atrás de otro milagro para
at Jesus's pace.
Jesus.
Accept miracles at Jesus's pace. His giving them, this is what you look at.
Okay, y entonces son los milagros que Jesús nos da porque él nos muestra que debemos ver.
His steps and his timing.
En su tiempo.
Okay, that as he gives it.
Porque él nos da en su espacio, en su tiempo.
I've said this before, like I said to him, Jesus, can I speed this baby up somehow?
Y yo le he dicho, Jesús, ¿puedo acelerar esto?
Because in a way, there's a part of us that's going, can't this be faster, Jesus?
Porque nosotros como, ¿no podrías ir más rápido, Jesús?
And he says, well, you can't speed up what never happened.
Y él dice, no puedes acelerar lo que nunca pasó.
You'll see that when you're in it and you're feeling like you're sizzling on a frying pan. When you feel like you're sizzling on a frying pan, you're going, I want this fire is hot, Jesus. I want to get off the fire. When am I going to be, my pancake going to be done?
Entonces es como cuando nos estamos friendo en una paila. Y entonces como cuando, o cuando está haciendo los pancakes, ¿cuándo van a estar hechos?
When he tells you it is.
Y dice que cuando vayan a ser, serán.
Because you don't have the discernment because of that just itch for hell, that itch to interpret.
Porque no tienes el discernimiento y esa picazón por el infierno.
The itch to extend time and not accept miracles immediately.
El deseo de extender el tiempo y no aceptar los milagros inmediatamente.
And all the reasons why, I can't follow guidance because.
Y las razones, no puedo seguir la guía porque.
That's why he's really honing in on the guidance, seeing where that self-deception is in the mind.
Y por eso él apunta a los milagros y para ver el engaño en la mente.
Because it's so delusional, you'll eventually see how many times you thought you were in guidance and you just were not. That's just the deal.
Porque es muy engañoso y algunas veces has pensado que estás en guía, pero en verdad no lo estás.
And he understands the intention, but the road to hell is paved with intent. You got to get in there and insist on it.
Porque el camino al infierno está lleno de buenas intenciones, pero por eso tienes que insistir en esto.
That's what he means by do only that. Do only as what's guided.
Por eso él insiste en que hagas solo lo que es guiado.
See, otherwise it's an investment. All that sideways is an investment in the bank of death.
Porque si no, van a ser inversiones en el banco de la muerte.
So yeah, just looking and just seeing how consistent. That's why the trust was so important, even typing the book.
Incluso, por eso es que la confianza es tan importante, incluso cuando se fue dictado el curso.
Because it did cross my mind, it might be like a little firestorm putting this book out. Because, a little firestorm would come from putting this book out,
Eso era como que llegaba una tormenta si yo sacaba este libro.
But then I saw it's for me to follow, if you can hear Jesus as much as you want to, or you think you do, but if you don't follow everything he's saying, you'll just go in the spin.
Entonces, si tú escuchas mucho a Jesús, pero aún así, y si no lo sigues, no estás haciendo nada.
You know, it's really getting to the point in the mind where it just goes, I will not tolerate one scrap of that play in my mind anymore.
Y tienes que llegar al punto donde no toleras ni un rasguño de esto más en tu mente.
And then you'll find yourself joining with brothers to really hear the brothers that are clear. You're gonna want a magnet. You're gonna want to glue yourself to them 100% of the time.
Y entonces por eso es que te tienes que unir y pegar a tus compañeros poderosos.
I'm asking if I can say this, even though you might yell a lot. The ego's gonna yell a lot.
Porque el ego va a gritar mucho.
You know, God has to be mean, and he has to be feel like he's coercing you, and he has to feel like he's punishing you.
Y porque va a ser de ver que Dios te quiere castigar, que te quiere eliminar.
Because without that, no need for either. You'd see right through the ego in a nanosecond. See, God's not the one that's punishing me. I'm punishing myself by not following guidance.
No es que Dios te esté castigando, te estás castigando tú mismo por no seguir la guía.
But then, at first it seems like this one-on-one conversation with them, which is helpful.
Y eso parece que es uno a uno, una conversación uno a uno con Jesús. Y eso es muy útil.
But the mind is the desires are cleared out, desires for something, and part of that clearing out is following.
Pero como la mente es una búsqueda de algo, por eso es tan importante seguirlo.
Listening is infinite.
Escuchar es infinito.
It's just referring back to all that you are, all the love that you are.
Te trae de regreso a todo el amor que eres.
It's like instantaneous celebration of the miracle.
Es una instantánea celebración del milagro.
Which is natural expressions of love.
Que son las naturales expresiones del amor.
So now we have these impulses.
Y luego ahora tenemos estos impulsos.
What is that?
Entonces, ¿qué es eso?
Well, you got to take a word for it till when the mind's purified, you'll just see it. Oh my gosh, that's what that is. I've been diverting that.
Entonces, pero cuando la mente está purificada, vas a poder ver y darte cuenta que te estabas desviando.
Okay. So, in every case, follow your guidance.
En todo caso, sigue la guía.
And just see how much diversionary techniques the ego will use.
Y mira todas las técnicas de desviación que el ego utiliza.
Including what seem to be great spiritual experiences that will be out of guidance. It loves doing that.
Incluso le encantan las experiencias milagrosas, pregunta que incluso son fuera de guía.
Jesus, does the ego co-opt the atonement all the time by trying to come up with its idea of a spiritual experience?
¿El ego quiere mantenerse con estas experiencias milagrosas?
That's its function. It loves doing that.
Y esa es su función, él ama hacer eso.
So I'm going to take a shot here at sharing the screen to see if I can show you what Jesus has been showing me lately about miracle impulses.
Voy a ver si puedo compartir la pantalla para mostrarle lo que Jesús me ha estado hablando acerca de los impulsos milagrosos.
So I think I have to share desktop. I think that's the best way you're going to be able to see this. So I'm going to try that.
Entonces voy a compartir el escritorio porque creo que esa es la mejor manera.
So if this PowerPoint goes full screen, if you can then give Mary the heads up through Messenger, that's great. I'm fairly sure it will.
Entonces, si le pueden mostrar decir a Mary si están viendo la imagen por Messenger, sería muy útil.
Okay, so this one's up. I'm going to bring this one up. Okay, so some of you may remember this presentation on supreme happiness.
Quizá algunos de ustedes recuerden esta presentación de la suprema felicidad.
And we have this little dream bubble thing going on.
Y también tenemos la burbuja del sueño.
Okay, and if you haven't seen it, we have some videos on it. We'll put some links when we put this into YouTube, we'll add some links, and we'll do the same thing in Facebook.
Entonces vamos a ponerles unos
Okay.
links en YouTube y en Facebook de esta información.
So this is the dream bubble diving in. We have infinite light. We have all this desire energy pouring into perception.
Y entonces tenemos la luz del ser infinito, luego tenemos todos los deseos y por último tenemos la percepción.
So ultimately, to insist to Jesus that this is me, I am perception, I am my emotions, I am my stories about myself.
Entonces tratamos de convencer a Jesús de que yo soy mis percepciones, yo soy mis emociones y mis historias.
So we call this like the I, me bubble.
Yo lo llamo el yo, la burbuja del yo.
And I'm and I do have this, we can share where I played all this, but I'm going to sneak down here. Oh, to this one right here.
Y vamos a ir.
Okay. Just remember this bubble because it's going to come into play really soon when we talk about miracle impulses.
Y entonces vamos a hablar, tengan presente esta imagen de la burbuja porque nos vamos a enfocar en los impulsos milagrosos.
So miracle impulses are just natural impulses within of the expression of miracles. It's just total love expressing.
Entonces los impulsos milagrosos son naturales y es la expresión del amor que somos.
So it's a reminder of all the celebration that we are. I've made it like a loop because it's unending. It goes on and on and on. These pulses come up, okay?
Y estos impulsos siempre son, lo pusimos como
bucle.
Como un bucle para mostrar que siempre están ahí.
Okay, so it's this unending loop. Is a reminder that communion is unending, ongoing.
Es un loop otra vez. Es un bucle que no tiene final, que nunca termina.
It's love without end, amen.
Es amor sin ningún final.
It's infinite happiness without love, amen.
Es infinita amor sin ningún final.
See, the ego is made not to see what's being denied.
Y el ego no quiere ver lo que ha sido negado.
But once you see it, you'll never deny yourself.
Porque cuando lo veas, no vas a seguir negándolo.
But you see that we're so used to the unnatural.
Porque estamos muy acostumbrados a lo no natural.
So the gold ring that's being exchanged, everyone wants ever-ending, unending love, see?
Todos quieren un amor que nunca termine.
There's a symbol.
Y hay un símbolo.
But what happens is we co-opt the symbol to say, okay, marriage, two people get married and that's unending love.
Y el símbolo es que dos personas se casan y que eso es un amor infinito.
You're unending love by your identity. That's it. You're this unending loop of happiness.
Pero tú tienes un amor que no termina, que es con el infinito.
Okay.
Tú, en una perfecta felicidad.
Again, he had to spoon feed this to us one miracle at a time because we think if we experience all this love, we're going to just disintegrate.
Pero entonces tiene que darnos un milagro tras otro milagro porque creemos que si recibimos todo ese amor vamos a ser desintegrados.
Because the way the ego works is it has to make God horrific. That's the only way it can deny itself this experience of unending, infinite love.
Y porque el ego va a hacer que Dios sea terrorífico para mantener ending love.
Unending love.
Yeah, que no termina, para no darse cuenta que somos el amor que no termina.
Amor infinito. See? That's correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time eventually when you're following, it's just, it's straight on love. That's it. That's all there is. I'm so happy.
Cuando lo seguimos es ir directo al amor.
Okay. So, here's this set up by God. This is the only way. Pure love all the time, 24/7. Ego goes, oh, that doesn't sound so good to me.
Entonces, estar reconocer el amor es un amor que es un amor infinito, va a ser una cosa que el ego no le va a gustar.
So it's never going to sound good to the ego.
No le va a sonar bien al ego, eso nunca le va a
Okay, the ego's just going, I don't want that.
Y el ego va a decir, yo no quiero eso.
Okay, so it says, okay, so it's going to divert miracle impulses. It's going to go down.
Y entonces va a querer desviar los milagros y lanzarse a la burbuja de Dios.
It's going, I have a desire for a dream. See, it's going in. And it diverts that impulse. It goes, no, I know a better way to get to heaven than this loop right here.
Y entonces dices, no, mira, yo tengo una mejor manera de lograr ir al cielo. Y
Okay.
te lanzas a la burbuja.
It's block of the awareness of love. Remember, he said, I will show you the blocks to the awareness of love.
Entonces, recuerden que dice Jesús que nos va a mostrar los bloqueos de la conciencia del amor que hemos puesto.
Okay, so
bloqueos.
The block is the desire for an experience of hell and call it heaven. And
y estos bloqueos son una experiencia de infierno y llamarla cielo.
And to dive into the dream.
Para hundirnos en la burbuja.
So the natural is the loop of love.
Lo natural es
the bouquet of love.
El bucle del amor.
Okay. And so what happens is a sign comes up, a little trick in consciousness comes up, and then we take that exit ramp.
Y entonces lo natural es ir hacia arriba y tomamos esta salida rápida.
The highway to hell exit.
La vía rápida para llegar al infierno.
And then come up with all kinds of justifications of why that is actually going to lead to heaven.
Y entonces llegas con todas estas justificaciones para decir que realmente esto te va a llevar al cielo.
Now, you guys who are in the light circles, you're already having that where Jesus, you go, Jesus, am I ready for a miracle?
Y entonces ustedes en los círculos de luz preguntan, ¿estamos listos para el milagro?
And he goes, no.
Y dice, no.
Because he knows somewhere in your mind, you still think this diving in is a heaven.
Porque él sabe que en la mente hay alguna creencia de que lanzarnos a esta burbuja es el cielo.
So the only way this is going to work, I don't even know if you guys can see the arrow. I hope so. It shows up on this.
No sé si ustedes ven la flecha.
Oh, good. Patty gives me the thumbs up. Thank you, Jesus.
Patty dice que sí.
All right. So it has to make this unending chain. It tries to break the chain. Okay.
Él trata de romper la cadena.
It can't, but that's why it has to be a dream. I'm just going to dive on down.
Pero entonces nosotros queremos, no, mira, yo quiero lanzarme otra vez a nadar ahí.
And watch this, Jesus. It's going to be a very graceful swan dive. Here I go.
Mira, y entonces Jesús, esta deliciosa.
I'm on the 3-meter board. I'm going to do 2 pikes with a half twist.
Entonces voy a lanzarme con 3 metros y voy a hacer la voltereta perfecta.
Okay, so every time, no following, ying, swan dive.
Entonces, cada vez que no lo sigues, te lanzas a la burbuja.
You ask Jesus, every time I don't follow, is it this wing?
Jesús, cada vez que no te sigo es lanzarme.
Is it a dive to keep the dream?
Es lanzarme a mantener el sueño.
See, am I trying to put pearls on a pig? I'm really going to hell and I'm just smiling like, oh, this is heaven, and trying to...
Y entonces estoy tratando de sonreír y decir, mira, creyendo que voy para el cielo cuando voy para el infierno.
So thankfully, he's offering his direct coaching to everyone. Look, I'm going to show you the flip in the mind that where you think you're going to get heaven, peace of mind, and happiness and love from going down.
Y entonces él nos va a mostrar en la mente cómo tenemos esto invertido y nos va a mostrar que creemos que vamos a obtener felicidad, paz en lanzarnos y mantenernos en la burbuja.
You know, and this is how the ego works. This is so you can be clear.
Y así que es como funciona el ego. Ustedes de esto ya deben estar claros.
Holy smokes. I just asked them, guidance is a miracle impulse. Oh,
Santo humo. Los milagros son
it's a miracle impulse, that guidance. Okay, so
la
it's
guía es
coming.
un impulso milagroso.
And so, but instead, it's like, okay, I'm going to go in here because Jesus is with me all the time. See, I'm going to go like this because Jesus is with me all the time.
Entonces me voy a ir por esta vía porque Jesús va conmigo todo el tiempo.
Of course he is, because the light, this is all light out here. But the head, once the ostrich puts its head in the sand, it's only dark down there.
Y entonces es como la avestruz que mete su cabeza en la arena leyendo que para no ver.
You know, and then it comes in the dream and it goes, okay, Jesus, I have this mortgage payment coming up. Will you kind of tell me, how do I handle that? I don't have money.
Entonces Jesús, mira, tengo que pagar esta renta de mi casa, pero no sé cómo manejarlo porque no tengo plata.
Okay. But the guidance back here maybe wasn't even to buy that house. You see, it's all.
Pero incluso la guía quizá fue ni siquiera haber comprado esa casa.
You're not in the right state. You're not in even the part of the world that he would have led you to.
Porque tú eres ni siquiera parte de este mundo.
So this is all about, I'm going to make an exception. I'm going to make an exception to divinity because I'm not powerful enough right here to say no to this diversion and stay on course.
Entonces, bueno, voy a hacer una excepción para desviarme un poco y y no mantener el curso.
So then Jesus, that's why we need Jesus. Look, you know, the ego has to make following that impulse hell. It's going to be bad. I'm going to blow up. You know, I don't like something. I don't like those people that are there. I.
Entonces, claro que el ego va a tener que hacer que el cielo sea como el infierno. Entonces, que va a ser terrible. No me gusta esa gente, no me gusta cómo hacen las cosas, no me gusta.
That does not sound fun.
Eso no suena divertido.
You know, I've got some kind of big contract coming up that has to be signed.
Tengo unos contratos muy grandes por firmar.
And never asking, am I to be involved with this? Is that a mighty companion I'm involved with in the first place?
Y en principio ni siquiera hemos preguntado si estos son compañeros poderosos con los que debería estar.
Anything other than the miracle.
Cualquier cosa que no sea un milagro.
And then it's delusional enough to go, I got a sweet miracle down here. And it tells a story when it wasn't in guidance even.
Y entonces nos comenzamos a contar estas historias cuando ni siquiera estuvo en guía hacer esto.
So it just takes the last unanswered question is what it takes.
Y eso nos lleva a la última pregunta no contestada.
Am I willing to see what's been denied because it's true?
¿Estoy dispuesta a ver lo que he negado porque es la verdad?
Am I willing in every single circumstance to see that I'm denying that miracle impulse?
¿Estoy dispuesta a ver que estoy negando estos impulsos milagrosos?
And pretending that peace and happiness and love can be found in the dream bubble.
Y creer que la felicidad, la paz van a ser logradas en la burbuja del sueño.
And again, you guys in the light circle, when you're talking to Jesus and you're not getting that miracle, now you know to ask him, Jesus, where do I think there's heaven keeping this desire?
Y entonces cuando no tenemos el milagro, le podemos preguntar a Jesús, ¿dónde estoy creyendo que esto es el cielo?
So because you'll not accept that miracle, okay, and take the God ride.
Y porque si no aceptas el milagro y no tomas la vía a Dios.
Until you've released from your mind the belief that desire for hell has value.
Hasta que no liberes de tu mente la creencia de que ese deseo tiene valor.
See, we're constantly telling them, Jesus, my treasure's down in here.
Y si le preguntamos a Jesús, mis tesoros están aquí.
All the false idols, that's where my treasure is.
Todos los falsos ídolos, esos son mis tesoros.
Okay. The misperceived benefit of desire. Somehow I'm getting the benefit out of this deal.
Siento que puedo lograr un beneficio de este trato.
So that's how it works. You know, guidance comes up and then it goes, let me find out, let me compare this to everything in my past and the dream. So I can tell whether this miracle impulse is a good idea.
Y entonces vamos hacia arriba en el milagro y entonces comenzamos a mirar como la historia de cuántas veces he tenido que...
I'm asking if that's true. You know, some stuff come out of my mouth and it's like that, yes.
Algunas cosas están saliendo de mi boca y le estoy preguntando que si están en guía y escucho que sí.
You know, it goes into the hell filing cabinet and compares it to the idea of what love is. It goes into the hell file cabinet, this dream bubble here.
Y entonces nos vamos a la burbuja del sueño al infierno y agua.
And it goes compared to what I think love is down here. Is this going to be love in this direction, following guidance?
Y entonces comenzamos a comparar este amor que tengo aquí en la burbuja es el amor que va a tener en los impulsos milagrosos.
Okay, and so it constricts right here. That's tension. See, every time you go like this, you're holding on to tension.
Y entonces cada vez que vamos a la burbuja estamos aferrándonos a la tensión, a la...
You know, and you just start yawning. You can yawn these things out, release all that subconscious tension. When you
entonces puedes comenzar a bostezarlo y liberarlo, esta tensión que
you read that in the course. He talks about its tension. All its diverted miracle impulses result in tension.
Entonces, desviarnos, estos impulsos milagrosos nos llevan a generar tensión.
And in the play of consciousness, every time something happens in consciousness, you're
Y cada vez que ves esto en el juego de la conciencia, estás luchándote cada momento, molestándote, incomodándote.
So at first, before you're really observing and what's going on in your mind and talking to Jesus about it, you don't even know you're so tense.
Incluso cuando vas tú y miras con Jesús, no, ni siquiera sabes cuánta tensión hay.
Until you take a careful look at one of your pictures and you see that cling on you.
y hasta que te muestran las imágenes donde tienes la frente arrugada.
Okay. You know, but that's why the peaceful mind, you know, it's smooth up there.
Y por eso es que la paz mental nos suaviza estas arrugas.
It's just, you're calm, you know, it's a symbol. It's a symbol.
Te mantienes en calma, es un símbolo.
You know, and you get the God glow because you're just happy.
Porque entonces tienes el amor de Dios y eso es felicidad.
You know, but it's not the reason to do it. Oh, I'm doing this for the God glow. No.
No es que estoy haciendo esto para tener amor de Dios.
It'll be a brand, you know, the ego will make this a brand new facelift. No, it's not.
What?
The ego will make this a brand new form of a facelift.
Y luego va a querer hacer esto un nuevo lifting de la frente, un estiramiento.
No, it's it's supreme. So there's so many of these little billions of little desire bucles in there.
Y porque aquí hay millones de bucles en esto.
These little loops to dive in. It's that's the addiction, to take that swan dive and just, Jesus, look how beautiful this one is.
Mira, y entonces esto es sumergirnos y sumergirnos más. Y mira Jesús, esto tan lindo que es esto.
Okay, and he's clear about this. Okay, he's clear about it.
Y él es muy claro acerca de esto.
And you know, if you dig deep enough in the course, a lot get left out on sexuality.
Y él habla mucho esto de la sexualidad.
He didn't leave it out in the New Covenant. It didn't get left out.
Y en el curso no habló de nada de esto, pero en Jesús un nuevo convenio sí.
But if you look in A Course in Miracles, you'll see there's like a really right in the beginning of the book on miracles.
Y al comienzo del curso, al comienzo de los habla de esto.
And where he talks about libido is a diversion of the miracle impulse.
Sexual energy. What?
Libido, sexual energy.
La energía sexual es una desviación de los milagros.
Okay, it's a diversion of the miracle impulse.
Es una desviación de los impulsos milagrosos.
Okay, and not to foster this to anyone. Don't foster this idea in yourself or others.
Y
Do not promote this.
que no promueve eso, el curso no promueve eso.
Okay. Okay, so that has to be understood. That is why he says sex is something a miracle worker must understand.
Por eso él dice que el sexo tiene que ser algo entendido por los obradores de milagros.
You know, that was a long talk with him that year. There has to be some way, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. There's got to be a way.
Y eso fue una lucha con Jesús porque tiene que haber una forma en esto. ¿Cómo así?
But it can't be any clearer. It goes this way. There's no way for that to go up. And when you really talk to him, you'll see it too.
Y cuando hablas con él, tú te das cuenta también de eso.
Why is it called sexual desire? Does it have the word desire?
Porque llamamos el deseo sexual.
You know?
Porque,
Okay.
porque es eso.
So I couldn't talk him out of it, putting sex is just for procreation. I
Y,
couldn't talk him out of that. No.
él dice que el sexo es para procreación.
Okay, nobody's going to want to listen to this. No.
Nadie va a escuchar, querer escuchar esto.
Look, I thought that was going to happen, but a lot of course students told me, look, I really suspected this was true.
Pero pensé que iba a ser así, sin embargo, hay varios estudiantes que me han dicho, sí, yo sospechaba que eso iba a ser así.
You know, but are there a lot of, ask them, Jesus, are there course teachers promoting this as a possible training activity in some cases?
Pero hay algunos profesores que lo utilizan como una práctica.
Are you promoting it as a training activity, help heal the mind? Does this heal the mind in any way, shape, or form, Jesus? Yes or no?
Y entonces eso es
Does this heal the mind?
¿Eso sana la mente, Jesús?
He doesn't make anything wrong. There's nothing inherently wrong.
Él no hace nada que sea un error.
He just knows what the ego likes to use to try and feel guilt.
Pero él sabe dónde el ego va a querer utilizar esto para mantener la culpa y el sufrimiento.
You know, he says it clearly. I don't know how clearly he can say it. Bodies do not join. Now, why is he saying that?
Y por eso él dice que los cuerpos no se pueden unir.
He's just offering, he's not making anything wrong. He's just telling you, look, you do this, engage in this activity without guidance. And he rarely gives guidance on it. I'll just be straight.
Entonces Jesús dice que no es que quiera hacer algo de esto, algo malo, sino que todo debe ser bajo la guía.
It will keep guilt in the mind.
Porque mantendrá la culpa en la mente, de lo contrario.
He's just suggesting that you look at it with him as a fast track. That's all I'm saying.
Lo que está haciendo es que lo miren con él como una vía rápida hacia los milagros.
Or pull out, was it chapter 9, and just have a talk. Let's just talk about this, Jesus.
En el capítulo 9 se habla de esto.
Okay, it's just the fastest way to see how that's diversion of the miracle impulse.
Porque es una forma rápida de ver que esta es una desviación de los impulsos milagrosos.
Why is that the highway to hell?
Y lanzarnos en la vía rápida hacia el infierno.
But any denial of guidance is that. It's just
pero cualquier negación de la guía es eso, lanzarnos.
And see, then we're in some kind of form, and we want him to fix the form. You know, I'm hurting, or I'm this, or I'm that. Something in form's not working, and then we're going, you know, help me out, Jesus.
Entonces, cuando algo en la forma no funciona, es como, ay, ayúdame, Jesús.
But the only thing he can do is show you where you don't want a miracle. That's his function. Otherwise, he makes this stuff real.
Entonces, pero lo único que él puede mostrar es dónde no estás aceptando los milagros, sino de lo contrario, estaría haciendo esto real.
So then here he comes. He brings you back over here. Look, that guidance I had for you before, it's still in play. You know, this is to try to obscure that he's giving you guidance on something that you don't want to hear.
Y esto, entonces él nos trae nuevamente al carril de los milagros. Y nos muestra
And then, you know, we hope that it will go away, but it doesn't. It lasts for a long time. Look, you're still guided to go do this.
Entonces, quisiéramos que se fuera, pero sin embargo está ahí para decirnos, mira, aún está en guía que muestra cómo salir.
This is the fastest way for you to leapfrog these little crazy diversions. See, it's like
y esto es la forma como él te guía para.
See, guidance is the get out of jail free card. You know, you just bypass this, you know, loops and ladders.
Y esta es la tarjeta para salir del infierno.
You know, you take that loop and ladder and you're on the long route now. You know? Or choosing the long route on loops and ladders. No, he's going, look, skip over this puppy, you know, just skip on over that and just take the ride around.
Entonces, date la vuelta y deja de revolverte en esta loop de basura.
Basura, how do we end up in the garbage?
No, I say good, but I say shit.
Okay, so we're coming back around on that boucle. Here's the loop.
Pero entonces mira aquí
Okay, and these are just loops of hell, loops of hell. I like this loop, I like this loop, and we just switch back and forth.
Y entonces vamos y venimos en esta bucle, en este bucle.
But these light circles where he's showing you directly how you have a misperceived benefit, that desire is yummy. Some down there with Gollum going, oh, this is good down here.
Es porque va a mostrarte que esto es muy bueno aquí.
Oh my gosh. And here's the other thing too. I'm asking him if this is true. Oh yeah.
Y le estoy preguntando esto.
So what happens is he's going to try and bring you back around, but there's so much guilt in the mind and you don't want to look. And then you start fighting them off down here, even worse.
Y entonces te va a mostrar dónde estás peleando para mantenerlo.
To keep the little guilt bucle going.
Para mantener este bucle de la culpa.
So, wow, Jesus, what a talk on miracles.
Oh, Jesús, qué charla de los milagros.
So it's just constantly releasing the desires to miracles. See, then you just stay in happiness.
Entonces simplemente es liberar esto a milagros y listo. Tan, tan.
It is the gentlest way. It's gentle, one miracle at a time.
Y es muy gentil, es un milagro a cada tiempo, un milagro luego otro.
So you can finally admit that this path, God is not punishing you. He's not going to blow you up. He's not killing you.
Y demuestra que Dios no te va a matar, que no te va a explotar.
You know, it has to be a little bit at a time because we made this so much heaven and then God so much hell.
Y porque esto hemos hecho de este sueño un cielo y del cielo un infierno.
You can ask him, Jesus, are my beliefs about God, you know, death and all these things so real to me that if I got more than, I can only handle a miracle at a time because I think I'd blow up.
Porque creo que no puedo manejar sino un milagro a la vez, porque si no pensaría que voy a explotar.
See, ask him, Jesus, do I think miracles will destroy me? Yes or no?
Y Jesús, creo que los milagros me destruirían.
That is a good conversation.
Eso es una muy buena conversación.
Do I have a desire for an experience where I feel destroyed if I accept a miracle?
Y creo que puedo ser destruido si acepto el milagro.
So it starts up here just going, no, you know, the world's going to end and I don't like I don't like thinking about the world. And it just comes up with every excuse.
Y entonces vamos a pensar que el mundo se va a acabar y traemos todas estas excusas.
But see, the joining is just the dissolution of all that.
Y entonces el unirse es la forma de disolver todo esto.
Joining is the solvent of a personal identity.
El unirse es la solución a la identidad personal.
It dissolves hell.
Disuelve el infierno.
So does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask about this today?
¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta que quiera hacer al respecto de esto que hemos hablado?
or shares and realizations that you came with Jesus?
O preguntas o cosas que nos hayamos dado cuenta con Jesús.
I have a question.
Okay.
Then, hi. um, you seem to equate like having a belief to having a desire, and I don't.
Having what?
A belief to having a desire. Like if you have a belief about something, then automatically it's a desire for something, and I don't really get that.
¿Tiene un deseo, una creencia es inmediatamente un deseo?
So first what comes is the desire for an experience.
Lo primero que llega es el deseo de la experiencia.
And there's like, think of it as the root of a tree, and then you got all those branches. The desires are all the branches that fulfill the wish.
Y entonces es como la raíz de esto y lo otro son como las ramas
For an experience other than God.
para experimentar algo diferente de Dios.
Okay. And one of the branches is once that desire sprouts into a tree.
Y entonces cuando el deseo se vuelve como un árbol, entonces estas ramas,
the reinforcement comes through of keeping that loop of the desire comes from thinking, this is the way to heaven. This desire is going to get me an experience of heaven.
Y entonces viene el bucle de creer que esto me va a llevar al cielo.
So that's the secondary gain. I'm going to ride this loop again in this desire and have more of these experiences rather than having a miracle.
Y me voy a montar en este
bucle.
En este bucle que me va a llevar al cielo.
So again, desire is the root. That's where the miracle occurs.
Entonces el deseo es la raíz y ahí es donde el milagro ocurre.
So it's helpful to see beliefs, these are the branches and you can clip them off.
Y es, bueno, puedes coger estas ramas y cortarlas.
And it's helpful to see that they're unreal and you can change your mind about a belief.
Y incluso puedes decir que son irreales y cambiar tu creencia acerca de esto.
But again, that's why beings wonder, well, why is this showing up again? I thought I had worked on that.
Y por eso es que algunos seres dicen, pero ¿por qué vuelve y surge si yo ya había trabajado en eso?
Okay, because there's that hidden secondary gain that the desire has value.
Entonces hay porque hay un juego secundario de que el deseo es valioso.
That experience is a means to heaven.
Que esa experiencia te lleva al cielo.
So once it's seen that it's all fundamentally desire and there's no need to go up in the trees and the forests and all of those things. See, it's direct. Then it gets really, show me the relishing. You just relish that's releasing all that subconscious tension.
Y entonces no nos vamos a las ramas, sino simplemente nos vamos al disfrute del deseo y así se libera toda esta tensión.
Because you see that it's just something that you wanted and you immediately decide that just has no value. Show me, Jesus. You don't even have to go up and look at beliefs. You just go to, oh my gosh, that's something I wanted. I don't need to want it anymore. I can change my mind.
Y entonces vas y miras que no te tienes que quedar en las creencias, sino que vas profundo y miras que es una experiencia deseada y que puedes cambiar de decisión y cambiar tu mentalidad.
So the belief is that there's some kind of gain or benefit or wisdom from this desire. I had the other night, I wake up in the middle of the night.
Can you let her translate? This is a really good topic you're on, Lynn.
Entonces, me perdí. I get lost.
Okay,
say it again, please.
Oh.
So I woke up in the middle of the night, as I usually do, and I was shown that I had this desire, this egoic desire, And
Entonces me desperté a la mitad de la noche como suele pasarme y me estaba mostrando este deseo egoico.
my ego is getting so much delight out of thinking that
Y mi ego estaba demorando esto, pensando.
I was like a dog with a bone, and I couldn't get myself away from this egoic delight that I was getting from thinking I could fulfill this desire.
Y todo lo que venía de supuestamente cumplir este deseo, de lograr este deseo.
I'm begging for a miracle.
Entonces
to
rogué
help
por un
release
milagro.
it.
Aw,
Oh,
so much love, Lynn, so much willingness.
Entonces
but I was torn apart.
hay mucha voluntad en esto y mucho amor en mí.
But see, you've got some of the most important elements you allowed him to show you. That's the golem, how much you really, the delight, right? The pleasure.
Oh my
Entonces,
God.
le permitiste que te mostrara el gusto, el placer que hay en este golem.
See, once we loosen up the constipation of miracle,
Cuando soltamos esta emprendimiento de milagros,
okay? Because at first, remember, I said this too, I go, Jesus, man, I just don't think that desire's down there.
recuerdo que yo decía, no, yo no creo que tenga este deseo.
And then I'd look at it, it's like, oh man, I could just see every cell.
Yeah.
I couldn't get enough of it.
Y entonces luego me daba cuenta que con cada célula de mi cuerpo lo quería y como que
At 3:00 in the morning, perception is 20/20, and you see every little tendril. And I'm bargaining with Jesus. Well, what if I did this instead of this? Couldn't I just do this? Finally, I've managed to release about 80% of it, and then 20% I'm still holding on to.
Liberé como el 1% de la energía porque había mucho gusto en esto.
Okay, who wants to go for the last little bit? Never to have this on our mind anymore.
¿Quién va por el no quiero más esto en mi mente nunca más?
Now, if you felt any kind of tightness on that,
Pero si tú tienes alguna pegó en esto,
okay, we just know we need them. Sometimes we need a pre-miracle for the miracle.
y algunas milagro desde el milagro.
Oh, we would say that around here. For me, it was like, Jesus, I need a pre-miracle because I don't even want to get near a miracle.
Necesito un pre-milagro porque no quiero ni un tricito de milagro.
It's like, I need help priming the miracle pump. Okay, so okay, Lynn, so let's just ask him.
Entonces, Lynn.
Okay, so what is the benefit of this? If there was one, there's a part in the mind, Jesus, show me, reveal to me in my willingness, the part that thinks it's a great deal, this desire.
Entonces, muéstrame, Jesús, en mi voluntad, en mi mente, qué parte cree que esto es un gran negocio.
Well, I know that there's a part still thinking that it's a great idea, and I
Creo que es una muy buena idea.
Okay.
Hay una parte de mí que cree que es una gran idea.
Okay, so can we ask for everyone's benefit, what's the desire that was revealed? Desire for what experience?
It's too embarrassing.
Una experiencia que se fue revelado.
It's
What?
really too embarrassing to say.
Es un poco embarazoso decirlo.
Okay, it serves the whole because chances are everybody's here had it, but
Let me
everyone's
ask. Let me
got
ask.
that
because-
same
Am
disease.
I to reveal this desire? No, I'm not getting a yes.
Okay,
I'm
So-
sorry.
well, there's no sorry. It's just I'm asking if it's helpful for that to share. Otherwise, I wouldn't ask.
Y estoy preguntando porque
Okay.
creo que es útil, sin embargo, porque si no, no preguntaría.
Because see, when it's personal, if we're still judging ourselves over it, there's a part of us that can't be free if we're judging it. See, we have to look at these things without judgment. It's the only
Entonces
way.
tenemos que mirar esto sin ningún juicio, porque hay una parte de nosotros que quiere juzgar.
It's just a play in consciousness. But we'll
Es
just
el juego en la conciencia.
so let's just think it's the worst thing possible. Let's just say it's sex.
Oh, great.
You know, let's just say it's sex. We don't know. Okay.
Digamos que es acerca del sexo.
Okay. So let's just, okay. So what is Jesus? So we need for him to show us where, so we know there's heaven in it for us and there's pleasure in it.
Y creemos que necesitamos que Jesús nos revele porque creemos que hay placer en esto.
So usually these things revolve around, the secondary gain revolves around the belief that I can get love this way.
Entonces, en el juego secundario nos muestra normalmente que creemos que podemos obtener amor de esto.
Or I can get peace this way.
O que puedo obtener paz de esto.
Okay, or I can get power. It gives me a feeling of power.
O me da la sensación de poder.
And sometimes it's all of the above.
Y algunas veces son todos esos.
Okay, but we don't judge it. We just look.
Y nosotros no lo juzgamos, simplemente lo miramos.
And then we go, which one of those is it? Is he telling you it is, Lynn?
It was a way to get the upper hand over somebody who hurt me, but without really hurting anybody in the process. But I could see that it was, you know, like you said,
it's power.
A power play.
Yeah, I heard power too.
Escucho que poder.
So then you can ask them, okay, Jesus, am I confused about what true power is? And in truth, can I ever get power this way?
Y entonces le puedo decir, Jesús, estoy confundida acerca de lo que es el verdadero poder y realmente obtengo poder a través de esto, ¿en verdad?
Well, I mean, I know, of course not.
Por supuesto que no.
But it's really important to grok that, you know, just let him reveal it fully so that it kind of clears the deck of that belief in any kind of way that power has value.
Pero es importante que se te sea revelado eso que crees que esto tiene valor. Debe ser revelado.
Jesus, am I willing to change my mind that this power is valuable? See this?
Estoy dispuesto, Jesús, a cambiar mi mente de creer que esto es valioso.
Yes.
So Jesus, so once that clears, all the secondary gain clears out, there's no block to a miracle.
Y cuando clarificamos todos los juegos secundarios, le damos la apertura al milagro.
So we have to just check in with him and go, okay, Jesus, did I accept a miracle on this? Yes or no?
Y tienes que checar con Jesús, saber si estamos dispuestos a aceptar el milagro o no.
But you can see that honesty of God is really helpful because without that, we're staying in the delusion freaking forever.
Entonces tienes que
Which ego would like.
mantener, mirar esto, o si no te vas a estar en el infierno todo el tiempo.
So you just have, okay, Jesus, where do I still think this is a benefit to keep this desire that I'm not seeing yet?
Donde creo que tengo aún un beneficio de mantener este deseo.
Okay.
It feels like the ego is totally convinced, and it's hard to, normally I can get a little separation from the ego and let it go. Well, I let it go about 80%, but there's like a 20% where the ego is just so enthralled with this idea, I can't get a distance from it.
Yeah, it's where we have to demand to make this unacceptable. There's some belief that having this is acceptable in the mind.
Que esta creencia de que esto es aceptable en la mente. Que no está parando, es que no están parando. ¿Sí?
There's some belief that the only
hay
way
una creencia que esto puede ser, que hay una creencia. Again, please.
That there's some belief that it's okay, you know, there's some exception going on, not you, but in a fragmentary view of the world, that this power is valuable in some way. It will be a loss without it. In fact, the ego will go, it'd be a loss if you don't have that power. That the actually accepting miracle will be a loss. Is that at play, Lynn? Ask Jesus.
Pregúntale si ese es el juego, Lynn.
Yeah, the ego feels that it would be a loss.
Yep.
And
it feels also,
cree que será una pérdida.
And it feels also that there would be no real harm done
Yes.
But I know intellectually, I know from reading the course, there would be harm done. I would feel guilty and so forth.
Pero intelectualmente, por la lectura del curso, sé que no voy a ser herida si miro esto.
Now, this is powerful to see in non-acceptance of miracles, because this is exactly what plays in the mind. The ego's going, this is Satan going, this isn't, no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Porque el ego va a estar queriendo diciendo, no, tranquilos, no es un problema, esto no es un problema.
So just ask Jesus, is there a belief in my subconscious mind that this is not a problem, not to have a miracle on this?
Podemos preguntarle a Jesús si tenemos esta creencia que no es un problema no aceptar un milagro.
Yeah, and I've never encountered this before.
Y lo he mirado antes.
But you're going to see quickly, this is the way out. Once you're letting him use this for a teaching example for you, you're going to see, you see a heck of a lot more about how miracles are denied in the mind.
Y ver cómo negamos los milagros en la mente.
And so why it was so important for Jesus' example in the desert says no to the serpent.
Y por eso fue tan importante que Jesús le hubiese dicho no a la serpiente en el desierto.
Because you can ask Jesus, do I believe that I have the power? Do I know that I have the power to say no to this?
Jesús, ¿tengo el poder de decirle no a esto?
I heard ultimately.
Ultimately, but in the moment, right? That's a good seeing right there too.
Pero como al final sí, pero que en este momento como sí.
Yes, you do. And
pero sí tú puedes.
you can invoke that power now.
Puedes invocar ese poder ahora mismo.
See, that's having dominion.
Eso es tener dominio.
That's Jesus. The devil comes up, he does not pull up a chair and have tea. He just goes, here's the deal.
Y entonces, si llega el demonio, no le ofreces té.
See, it's at our command. So we're commanding this appearance, and we can just command it to cease to be there.
Entonces, nosotros estamos admitiendo que él esté ahí, entonces nosotros simplemente podemos admitir que no sea así.
So the challenge is the willingness has to be 100% like, and the determination to see. I'm going to see. I don't care what that looks like.
Y entonces el tema es estar determinado a ver, no importa lo que siga.
Because it's relishing that experience of loss. Asking Jesus, the ego also relishing the experience of loss with
El
this.
ego disfruta la experiencia de pérdida.
What experience of loss?
Just ask him,
La
Jesus.
experiencia de pérdida.
Because the ego, whenever the ego is concerned that there's some kind of loss,
Cuando el ego está preocupado de cualquier tipo de pérdida,
this is a good trick to see too.
eso es un buen truco para ver.
Whenever there's a perception of loss in the future,
Cuando hay una percepción de pérdida en el futuro,
it's relishing feeling loss right now.
es disfrutar la pérdida ahora mismo.
So that's why you catch a trick and go, Jesus, is there a relishing of loss here too? I like the feeling of loss.
Entonces le preguntas a Jesús si disfrutas la experiencia de la pérdida.
The loss, you mean the loss of control? Like if I don't.
¿Te refieres a la pérdida de control?
That's a big play, loss of control, but it relishes it. It
Pero,
likes,
eso es un gran juego, la
Likes
pérdida
that
de
too.
control, pero
but it likes that too. But let's ask them what's most helpful to see. It feels like it's most helpful to really see this idea that there's some kind of sacrifice over getting your miracle on this.
hay una una creencia que hay un sacrificio para obtener el milagro.
Yeah, I can see that, feel the sacrifice.
Puedo
Yeah,
sentir
okay.
el sacrificio en esto.
So if you ask them, I would ask them, Jesus, do I just relish how much I love feeling sacrifice? And
Amo esta sensación de sacrificio, Jesús.
but just let the desire for sacrifice just express itself. It's just energy.
Es expresar esto, que simplemente es energía.
See, and then that just releases, and you go ahead. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and relish it. I like feeling sacrifice. I'm going to go ahead, and Jesus is all right to look at this. Yes, relish, 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 and all the energy goes.
Y entonces disfrutas toda esa energía que surge.
It's like letting the air out of the tires, Car doesn't.
It's like what?
Letting air out of tires. Letting air out of tires, car tires. Letting the air out of tires.
Es como dejar salir el aire de las llantas.
I never know what he's going to say.
I'm not in touch with the desire for sacrifice, but I see that like the ego feels like it's gotten the upper hand against me. And
Si el ego estuviera como en contra mía.
Here I was thinking that the ego was trying to get the upper hand against someone else, but it's gotten the upper hand against me.
See, this is a really good place where Jesus said, you do not believe you have the power, thus you must rely on mine.
Por eso Jesús dice que crees que no tienes el poder, por eso tienes que confiar en mí.
See, we believe that's the difficulty in ordinary miracles. We think we're not powerful enough to accept a miracle on these things.
Entonces creemos que no somos suficientemente poderosos para aceptar el milagro.
So what you can do, Lynn, is you just sit with it and let him show you. If that's true, you're willing, just be willing. That's our function. Our function is willing. His function is showing.
Entonces se siente útil que te sientes y le digas que te revele, porque la función de él es revelarnos y nuestra es muéstrame.
Because as long as the ego is pulling out the sacrifice card and we believe it,
porque si el ego pone la carta del sacrificio y nosotros no la creemos,
you're going to lose some kind of power. You're going to be
vas
weak.
a perder algo de poder, vas a estar débil.
Yeah.
So you're just questioning, okay, is this true? Are all my beliefs about this true?
Y pregunta si esto es cierto, si estas creencias son ciertas.
And then we can ask Jesus, whatever this desire was, do I still think this is the path to heaven? Do I still believe this is a way to get to heaven?
Y entonces aún creo, Jesús, que esto es el camino al cielo.
No, I don't.
No lo creo.
But I still think there's secondary gain to be had.
Yeah, so that's the belief that there's still heaven in it. As long as there's secondary gain, there's still some benefit in it.
Desde que haya un juego secundario, hay una creencia que hay un beneficio de esto.
But it's good. This is the kind of penetrating looking that it takes if one is interested in transcending the dream.
Si estamos interesados en salir del sueño.
But look at it curious,
mirarlo.
Curious with innocence. Don't make it wrong. You're making it wrong, whatever that desire is, and that just compounds it.
Tómalo, no lo hagas real, míralo con inocencia.
See, you're making yourself wrong over that. That's what I'm hearing. Is that right?
Porque escucho que te estás haciendo como si estuvieras cometiendo un error. ¿Eso es cierto?
Probably judging it, yeah.
Sí, probablemente sí, juzgándome.
So just remember who's judging that. So the miscreation's creating it, then it gets to judge it, then it gets to suffer it, then it's just like.
Porque la creación falsa es viene el juicio.
So you're just curious, it's like, just like this dream came up, it was to heal the mind. This is interesting. Jesus isn't judging you.
Y Jesús no te está juzgando, míralo con inocencia y con curiosidad.
You're standing up to it and just be determined. I am determined to see. That's your function.
Entonces estoy determinado, esa es tu función.
You see, we really don't want to see how powerful we are just to say no to these things.
No nos daremos cuenta de lo poderosos que somos hasta que miremos estas cosas.
But that's why Jesus is here to help us.
Pero está bien, aquí está Jesús para ayudarnos.
And you're willing, Lynn, so just keep looking.
Solo mantente mirando.
I'll probably see it very clearly another 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's right. Yay for that.
Probablemente me tenga que levantar otra vez en la mañana.
Yeah. If you keep with this openness, he will show you to you.
Si te mantienes con esta apertura, él te lo mostrará.
But there's just a little bit of, this is what I hear, a little bit of uncertainty about what it might mean to see it that clearly.
Y parece que que
Well, there's uncertainty about what the impact would be, what it might mean if the miracle was received.
y hay como una inquietud de qué pasa si el milagro, si recibe el milagro.
But rest assured, rest assured,
Descansa en la certeza.
You can rest in him and just
Descansa en él.
offer willingness.
Y ofrece tu voluntad.
Thank you. I've never had a challenge like this before. It's so silly.
Entonces nunca he tenido un reto como esto antes. Es muy loco.
Don't let the ego judge that.
No dejes que el ego juzgue eso.
Because it's a valuable, valuable lesson for all of us.
Porque eso es una valiosa lección para todos.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank
Gracias.
you.
Okay, that great question. Anyone else have a question?
Una gran pregunta. ¿Alguien más tiene alguna pregunta?
Hi, Kay. Hi,
Hello,
everyone.
beloved.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
for having me here.
Gracias por tenerme, gracias por tenerme, invitarme.
That's Bonnie.
Es
Yeah.
Vani.
Oh, wonderful. Let me see if I can find you on the, where are you? It's interesting. Oh, there you are, Bonnie. Okay. Hi, beloved.
Amada.
Hi, Kay. I have a
Okay.
question regarding the chapter 20 desires that we are doing, that I'm doing with my partner. We came up
Entonces
with,
tengo una pregunta, tengo una pregunta del capítulo 20 del que está hoy trabajando.
we came to a desire yesterday while doing the joining. It was others are fighting you for authorship through what they say. We couldn't understand this one, so we had to skip this and move on to the next one. So would you please explain this a little so we are able to, and she asked Fran, she asked Jesus if we have covered this desire with the other one that we did instead of this one. So the answer we received was yes, but I still had the itch to question whether I should get a clarification on this.
Quiero como una clarificación acerca de esto porque con Fran miramos y parecía que él ya estaba dado, pero tengo como inquietud al respecto de un deseo que vimos.
As I'm asking Jesus. So have you ever had an experience where someone said something and you just got ridiculously happy from what they said?
¿Has tenido la
Yeah.
sensación de cuando alguien dice algo chistoso y te vuelves ridículamente feliz escuchándolo?
Okay, have you ever gotten really mad at what somebody said?
¿Te has puesto muy molesto cuando
Definitely.
alguien dice algo?
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is the belief that what someone says can actually impact you.
Y eso es lo que es la creencia de que cuando alguien dice algo me impacta a mí.
That something that someone says can change the Son of God.
Que algo de lo que dice alguien impacta al Hijo de Dios.
So it's like
Cambia.
they write that they're authoring you, meaning they're writing here's a little story about you, and that's what's true about you.
Y esta pequeña historia de lo que eres tú es lo que crees que, mejor dicho, que crees que eres tú.
So it's constant appearance in the dream. This one appears all the time. Someone tells me I'm good, I'm happy. Someone tells me I'm bad, I'm sad.
Alguien me dijo algo bueno, entonces me pongo feliz. Alguien me dijo algo malo, me pongo triste.
So that's letting seemingly someone outside yourself, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me, when they're really feeling some world of hurt.
What?
Sticks and stones may break my bones.
No, o sea, palos y huesos. And what?
Sticks. So if somebody throws a stick, it's could break me. This is this is in
Okay.
English. It's an English rhyme.
Es una rima en inglés que dice que si lanzas un palo te puede herir, algo así.
That kids on the schoolyard play.
Era como el juego en el recreo.
Somebody calls them a bad name.
Y alguien me decía un nombre mal.
And they go, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Well, palos y piedras me tiran, pero nada me puede herir.
Names can never hurt you, but if you believe they can, you think that you're being authored by whoever, whatever somebody's saying.
Entonces, si crees que algo de lo que hacen afuera te puede herir, entonces le estás dando como el poder afuera.
That you're being defined by what someone says.
Que puede ser afectado por lo que alguien diga.
So how much in the play of consciousness is the whole play about seeking approval?
Y cuánto del juego de la conciencia es buscar la aprobación.
How much is it in the dream that I'm valedictorian, seeing myself standing on the podium?
Y bueno, cuánto hay de esto de soy la reina Victoria sentada en el podio y tienen que aplaudirme.
Everybody applauding.
Y todo el mundo aplaudirme.
That my happiness depends on that.
Que mi felicidad depende de eso.
How much seeking and form is around that? Getting someone to say something I want and being pissed if they don't.
Y buscando por alguien que diga algo o que me saque de quicio si no lo hace.
So it's a form of thinking happiness depends on what other people say.
Depende, creo que la felicidad depende de lo que otro diga.
Or don't say.
O no diga.
Like you're waiting all your life for your mother to tell you she loves you and it doesn't come. You know?
Y entonces que todo lo que haces para que tu mamá te diga que algo y nunca llega.
All the time we're love itself. Unlimited.
Y todo el tiempo siendo el amor ilimitado.
Unchanging.
Inmutable.
So the real beauty of this whole looking,
la real belleza de este mirar,
is you don't actually need to understand it though, to clear it.
Tú no necesitas entenderlo para clarificarlo.
Because you can just say to Jesus, okay, Jesus, do I have this desire? Yes or no?
Y entonces simplemente le dice Jesús, ¿tengo este deseo, sí o no?
And he'll tell you yes, and you go, okay, show it to me. You don't have to know anything about it. He'll show it to you if you're willing. He'll show you the relishing of it, see?
Y entonces simplemente le dices, muéstrame el disfrute de esto y ya.
You'd be like Lynn going, oh my God, I want this more than God, whatever this is.
Y como quiero esto más que Dios, cualquiera que sea.
I do want it. Honesty of God. God,
sí, realmente lo quiero.
Gollum's throwing a party down there like this, going, oh, that's yummy.
El Gollum diciendo, uy, esto es delicioso.
And then he just help you, just, okay, show it to me, show me all the energy.
Entonces, simplemente muéstrame tráeme la energía.
See, because experience cannot arise without that energy under there, that miracle constipation.
Porque los deseos no pueden verse sin ver esta energía, porque de lo contrario son no, son estreñimiento.
That answers my question perfectly.
Okay. Thank you, Vani, for your question.
Gracias, Vani, por tu pregunta.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
Te amo también.
Anyone else?
¿Alguien más?
Yes, me.
Oh,
Lisbeth.
yes, I recognize that.
Yes, I want to say thank you to the divine being that is talking through you, Kai, it was many clarification and answer some question about what I think I'm losing in this and about the miracles impulse. Okay, it's so clear. Some question in this bubble.
Okay, Elizabeth, do you want to translate yourself or do you want?
Yes, of course, María, I can do it. Ok, quería darle gracias a la luz divina del ser que está hablando, que ha hablado hoy a través de Kai y que ha permitido que se respondan algunas preguntas o muchas preguntas acerca de lo que se vive en esta burbuja. Ok, aparentemente hay algunas situaciones sucediendo en mi vida laboral y personal. Y esta conversación de hoy ha sido muy clarificadora. There are some situation, apparently situation, seeming situation in this bubble. And this conference, this talking through Kai is so clearly for me. Thanks, Jesus, thank God, thanks, brothers and sisters.
Oh, that's
I
beautiful.
feel peace now. Yes. Yes.
Tradúcete.
Ok, me ha habido mucha paz, mucha luz y si se me olvida algo, María, por favor, que me emociono. Hay mucha luz, hay mucha paz y bueno, esto ha sido me ha dado mucha paz. Gracias. Gracias Jesús, gracias Ser Divino. Gracias Kai.
Yes, oh, Jesus, straight up, baby.
Ay, vamos directo, Jesús.
Supreme happiness, strap that seatbelt on.
Suprema felicidad, amarras en mis cinturones.
Yes, sí.
Anyone else have any questions? We're going for God here after all.
¿Alguien más alguna pregunta? Porque vamos por Dios.
Okay, and then I'm putting you all in school. Here we go. We're all going to be in the classroom of Jesus.
Todos vamos a estar en la clase de Jesús.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go.
Vamos a hacerlo.
Okay. Start. There you are.
Todos quedamos
Hey, you
en
guys
el
want
salón
to
de
turn on your
clase.
video? You put your video, you'll see your little face in there.
Pongan video para que podamos ver sus caras ahí en el salón.
Everybody going, I don't want my face in the classroom of God.
En el salón de clase de Dios.
Oh, it's too cute.
Muy,
Sí,
muy tiernos.
So yeah, we're all in Jesus's psychotherapy program.
Estamos todos en el programa de psicoterapia de Jesús.
Okay, so what we'll do here is we're going to invite Lori to come sing us a
Vamos a
song of joy.
invitar a Lori para que nos cante una canción.
So I'm going to switch back to speaker and I'm going to, I
Vamos
think
a
she's
cambiar
already on that mic, so that's good.
Vamos a cambiarnos de.
Well, we probably have to, we have to just that other camera.
Vamos a simplemente
Let me see if I
ajustar la
can get it.
cámara.
Let's see if it's going to come on.
Vamos a pasarnos a la otra
Yeah,
cámara.
there was seat 920. Oh, it's pretty well centered. Pretty darn good there. Woohoo.
And the lyrics came through on the Facebook Messenger group.
La letra está en el grupo de Facebook. Facebook o Messenger. Messenger.
Facebook Messenger.
Messenger.
Okay. Which song are we doing?
And can you put that on setting?
Oh, yes, good. She's asked me for the power setting here. Let's see how I'm going to get to it.
Para poner el sonido de fondo.
Well, I have to change views maybe to get it. Let's see, gallery. Yeah, there it is. Okay. There we go.
This is this is called raise a glass.
Ok, levantar la copa. Una copa.
A love song from Jesus.
Una canción de Jesús.
And we raise a glass to each miracle as they come.
Y levantamos la copa por cada milagro que llega.
God, how will you move me? How will you heal my restless heart? What is my remedy? Truth be told, a world forgiven cannot last. Hey, oh, I receive your mercy. Hey, oh, I receive you, gift of grace. Don't you dare look back, look right here and now. There's no place you'd rather be. Brother, where art thou? Been given somehow, standing in front of me tenderly. Hey, oh, I receive your mercy. Hey, oh, I receive you, golden grace. And I raise a glass to the great rays, bringing the blocks to love, to the light. I raise a glass to the great rays, bringing the darkness to the light. The battle will never be waged. The soldierless truth offers no response. I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna fight anymore. Hey, oh, I receive your mercy. Hey, oh, I receive you, golden grace. And I raise a glass to the great rays, bringing the blocks of love to the lights. I raise a glass to the great rays, bringing the blocks of love to the lights. Slip sliding away, I raise a glass to you. Be still, I raise a glass to you. Be still, one by one, miracles. I raise a glass to you. Love without end. And so it is.
Wow, beautiful, Lori.
Hermoso, Lori.
Hermoso.
Wow, you guys.
Wow.
Let's unmute the team and see what they're doing. Can I unmute all? I can't remember how to do that.
¿Cómo puedo?
Mute all. There's got to be a way to unmute all. Oh, you have to just mute yourself. Ask all to unmute and give us a.
Levanta la copa.
Thank you.
Love you.
Yay!
Go for the gallery.
Here's my glass. I have a water bottle. I raised a water bottle.
Yeah. Go out there and get your miracles.
Levanten y vamos por los milagros.
They're dancing. They're dancing over here.
Aquí están bailando.
Oh my gosh. So,
She always sounds so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah, and that's just like heavenly music. So blessed to have that.
Esto es como música del cielo. Estamos muy
Yeah.
bendecidos de tenerla.
Thank you for bringing your dedication and determination to see.
Gracias por traer su dedicación y su voluntad de ver.
You know, it inspires everyone. It inspires everyone in the honesty of God too, that everyone's demonstrating. Go, they're willing to be honest. It's everything.
Porque la voluntad de ser honesto lo es todo.
Namaste, beloved.
Namaste.
Love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Sí.
Thank you. Good night.